The second location factor we're going to talk about are transportation costs. They are among the most thoroughly analyzed location factors in the literature. When is this factor, transportation cost, relevant? They are relevant when you are talking about products that have high shipping costs for either input or outputs relative to the value or the final product. This kind of product tends to be transportation oriented. For instance, we're not talking about iTunes. There are no transportation costs when you're talking about iTunes. We are talking, for instance, about furniture producers. The cost of transporting furniture is large when we compare it to the value of the furniture or to the value of the output. A typical example, therefore, is manufacturing activities. Now, transportation costs can be analyzed with the tools economists have. That's another reason why the literature analyzes transportation costs so much, because basically we know how to do it. There are two main types of firms in this model. The first type of firm is the so-called market-oriented firm. They are firms that produce finished products that are expensive to transport, so they locate near markets. For instance, soft drinks. They are weight gaining because the materials such as glass, syrup, and so forth are shipped to the bottler, where water, which is a very, very heavy input, is added to the production. So you can see that the final product is much heavier than the inputs. Therefore, if the firm wants to minimize transportation costs, it should be closer to the final market, not to the inputs. So this is the first type of firm in this model, the market-oriented firms. The second type of firm is the material-oriented firm. Basically, these firms, they locate near materials because the materials are expensive to transport. One example would be, for instance, sawmills. They locate close to the forest because trees are very, very heavy. Here's a diagram that helps us understand why a firm should locate either close to the materials or close to the market. Assume that this is not the case. Instead of locating close to the material or locating close to the market, the firm is located here, between the material and between the market. As we can see, the firm will have extra handling costs. Why? Well, here we have the materials. They need to be loaded, shipped, unloaded, production takes place, then you have to load again and ship to the market. On the other hand, if the production was here or here, there will be one less loading and unloading process, because here, produce, load, ship to the market, or if the production is here, load the material, ship to the market, produce, and sell. So here, if I locate in the middle, there will be extra costs. Now, another reason why firms should locate either here or here are the so-called nonlinear rate structures. They are also called long-haul economies. If the firm is located here or here, this is the length that the firm must transport either the materials or the final product. Because it's a longer length, you get a discount. That's what long-haul economies mean. It costs, for instance, less than twice as much to travel 200 miles as it does to travel 100 miles. So, It's cheaper to travel 200 miles than to travel 100 miles twice. One exception to that is the so-called transshipment locations. They are junctures in the transportation network where loading and unloading cannot be avoided, for instance, ports and airports. There's not much you can do about those. If you need to unload and load in a plane, that's what you have to do. And in addition to that, it's important to note that these transshipment locations, they are getting more and more important as the world gets more and more globalized.